And welcome to Intoxicated Masculinity, where we talk about booze, movies, politics, and anything else that comes up. Joining me, as always, is Brandon King.
How's it going?
And Kale Charo. High energy, as always. Today, we're doing our first of many blind tastings. Each of us has brought one contender, and in the end, we will pick which one is superior. The subject of tonight's tasting is white rums. I want to note that we are not talking necessarily about unaged rums. White rums can be aged. Many white rums are aged and then they are filtered so they get the color out of them. So all as we were talking, our only requirements for this is that they be white rums. So we have three competitors, and without further ado, let's get started. These are labeled A, B, and C.
That makes me think that on some of our shows where we're just talking about a random topic, we should just call it Further Ado.
There will be lots of further ado.
With all the further ado.
One might call it even much ado. What is that? Oh boy, I know which one this is. Without even
funky.
There is something.
It's like sweet corn.
Which this is, so we should talk for a minute. What is rum? Rum is distilled from sugarcane or molasses. So while I agree with Brandon, I do smell sweet corn on this. Quite a bit of sweet corn on this. This is 100% sugarcane or molasses.
And I can't smell, and I can tell there's sweet corn, so it must be overwhelming for you two.
That is how do you describe that flavor?
It is liquid sweet corn.
There's sweet corn. It's pretty hot.
It's what's it? Cream corn.
Yes. Cream corn. Yeah. I don't really like this at all.
Well, I like cream corn and I like pepper, so.
Like you would sniff a bourbon, you'd leave your mouth open, Try doing that with this.
I'd rather not. I don't like this.
Do you get that? It's like getting kicked in the back of the throat.
Okay, so yeah, it's always tough on the podcast forum to describe what's happening. So this has a stronger nose than any white rum I think I've ever smelled. And normally a strong nose is a good thing. In this case, I don't believe it's a good thing because I don't like the nose at all. What do you guys think?
Like I said, I can't smell. For me to smell this it must be super, super strong.
Oh, that is. Kale, why don't you tell me what your thoughts are?
I needed to rinse my mouth out for a second there. Sorry. That's intense. It's a little complex. A lot of heat, a lot of sweet. It's not messing around. I mean, I can't quite pin down the flavor. I'm pretty sure I smell like banana, but then it smells like bananas that are on fire. So it's
I would say like corn that was vomited up by someone.
It's a bit aggressive.
It's funny, in doing these tastings, I've rarely run across something that I actively very much disliked. And I sort of see like the merit in most of the things that we try. But apparently not everything. That is, I can't say anything good about it. I literally cannot think of a good thing to say about that.
I won't say that I hate it.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't say I hate it. No,
like it.
I will go that far. Oh God, it's awful.
Do a rinser.
It doesn't even taste like rum. What have they done to it? What
It's
is
like-
this?
Maybe it's like Frankenstein of rum. Or
That is
monster. or
that is
specific.
out of the Brotherhood of Rum. I'm officially declaring that not rum. Let's go ahead and rinse out our palates a bit and move on to something that's hopefully tastes something like rum.
I didn't bring a rinse. I'll be right back.
Wow. That is, like I said, it's sort of baffling because it doesn't taste anything like rum. Now, there is one thing that I think, well, we'll talk about at the end because I'm pretty sure I know which one this is. And I think I know why this tastes the way it does. But yeah. Okay. We are going to go ahead and pour a little bit of B.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell everybody how we do it.
And hopefully B has some resemblance to rum. You see, this has very little nose. At least I get almost no nose off of it.
I'm back to nothing.
I think there's a little bit of vanilla, a little bit, maybe a little bit of,
a hint of vanilla, I would say.
just not much at all. However, based on my past experience, I'll take no nose over the previous nose.
All right, I'm going in.
And as we know, the nose knows.
That is wholly different than the first one.
This
Almost
to me
rum.
is generic rum.
This maybe
There's not-
doesn't even have the burn of wine.
There's not a lot there. There's some vanilla.
Vanilla caramel, maybe.
Maybe a little bit of caramel. There's
Why
not
would
much.
caramel be
There's
a
nothing
rum?
bad. There's nothing bad though either. Like I say, I try that and I'm like, that is, if you were to just to hand me a generic clear bottle with just rum put on it, it's like, that's what that would taste like. It is rum. I'm sure this would make a fine daiquiri or a mojito. I probably wouldn't sip it neat, but it would make a
I
fine
have a
cocktail.
confession to make. I believe I think that maybe I just don't like white rum.
I like some white rums.
I can't wait for C. This is gonna suck. Not to
Okay,
be a
so-
negative about
This
it.
doesn't taste like anything. I'm not getting anything.
Well, again, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a very generic rum. This would go well in white rum cocktails. It would make, it's not doing a lot, but it's not doing anything bad either, which is kind of what you want a
That's a
generic rum to
decent
do.
cocktail rum, I would say. That
Aftertaste has a little bit of like flavored coffee maybe at the very end there, but that's about it.
Yeah, I could see maybe a little bit of coffee on the end there. So this is an interesting tasting. I think we've, I don't know.
cinnamon hell.
Well, no, again, I think B is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with B. If B was mine, I would not be unhappy. I think it would go fine in a cocktail. Again, I don't think it's not what I'd call a sipping rum. But I think there's nothing, it's not offensive in any way. Like
It's not that, no.
evil
Very
Mr.
mild.
A. Or Jesus, what is this? Oh my God. We're gonna have a conversation about that. I am about 99.9% sure I know what A is and why it is the way it is. So we'll talk about it. All right. So let's hope for something a little more on C.
C.
Like this is one of those things where you might want to explain how we get this set up.
All right. So what we do is each one of us will pick one bottle. The bottles will be brought to my house, and my wife will do the pouring into 3 bottles. It will be done blind, so I can't see which one is which. And then I will drop the bottles back off their houses. So we have 4 bottles sitting in front of us. We have the 3 contenders. And then the last one, which I think is going to be especially interesting this time, is a bonus pour. So once we have tried our first three, our A, B, and C, we're going to talk about which ones we liked and which ones we didn't like. Didn't like? Yeah, that's a word. In this one, I don't think it's going to be a giant surprise which ones I didn't like. But let's give C a try and see what we think.
Nothing on the nose. Well, something.
I like this one. It's got flavor to it. It's not got a strong nose. It's got a little bit of kind of a little bit of funkiness on the palate and on the finish. Most white rums aren't going to be super strong either way, but I think this one's the only one that seems to be doing something and doing something right. Because I think the problem with B is it doesn't do much at all. And the problem with A is that it does things that are terrible.
I'm going to agree with you there. I'm going to say C is.
Well, I hate to preview where we're going with this because I don't know if we all agree. But I mean, just based on my interpretations, like, there's a lot of times where you do spirit tastings and you have very close ones where you're like, oh, it could be A, it could be B. I don't think with me it's going to be much of a surprise because I thought A was unpalatable. I can't recommend it in any way, shape, or form. I think B is a perfectly serviceable cocktail rum, and I think I could probably sip on C in an evening.
I gotta say, I don't like C.
You don't like C? Why don't you like C? What do you not like about it?
I don't know. There's this it's like mild rubbing alcohol.
It's not a great note.
And I've had rubbing alcohol.
Kale, where do you stand?
I'm pretty much aligned with your thinking on this right now. I'm not for sure 100% on that, but I mean, I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Well, I kind of took over on A because I was so overwhelmed by it. What do you guys think of it?
I'm seeing how close I can get A to my face before I smell it.
It's not a great sign if it's like, it's all right as long as you don't smell it at all.
I think you're going to think I'm just being controversial, but I'm going to pick A as my top.
I don't know that I believe you.
Maybe it's just because I can finally smell something. Maybe it's what did it. I like cream corn as a taste. I don't know.
Well, you are certainly welcome to your opinion. Kale, what do you think? I literally can't bring it to my face again. I think I might gag if I smell it again.
I kind of leaned into the aroma a few times and kind of just absorbed it a little bit. And then I did try another sip now just to give it a fair shake after trying the others. And I have to say, it's not as terrible the second time. It's just overwhelming, really. Like you said, like the one thing isn't doing anything. Like the other one was like, okay. But this one's like doing way too much.
It's certainly doing something.
I think I agree with Kayla. I think white rums just aren't my thing, but
well, let's lay this out here. I mean, for me, I mean, I'm not being hyperbolic.
Listen to this. In A, I'm getting like banana, coconut, and then like black licorice for some reason. And
those are all things I like, though, too.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd want all those things put in one pot together. I don't know. For me, it just so if I was going to try to put together a positive review of A, it is certainly doing something. It is not generic. I think it is not doing good things. The nose feels like a whole bunch of things clashing. They don't feel like they should go together. It is pungent. I think we can all agree on that. Like it is an incredibly strong nose.
For those that don't know me, I have a pre-COVID loss of the sense of smell. Like I haven't smelled properly since 2012. So for me, a little bit, just the fact that I can smell it is an indication of how pungent it is.
All right, so let's go.
I appreciate your candor, sir.
B
Are
Okay.
was best
Are
out
you
of
working out a scorecard, Mike?
I am. So the way we're going to score this is your top scoring one gets, how did we do this? Your bottom scoring gets 1, your second bottom scoring gets 2, and your top scoring gets 4, because we want to make sure we don't get any ties. So, Brandon, what is your number 1?
I'm gonna go with A.
You're insane, but it's okay. What is your second?
B.
And then C?
Yeah.
Okay. Kale, where are you at?
CAB.
And I am very much CBA. So C is going to win with 9 points. A is going to come in second, which is a crime against humanity, at 7 points, and B will come in third with 5 points. Brandon, as the person who got 5 points, would you please tell us about the rum that you brought today?
This is Havana Club Puerto Rican rum.
Which is basically Bacardi.
I guess.
I mean, it comes from Bacardi.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really know a whole lot about white rums, and it was almost literally the only type available at the liquor store I went to, so I went with that.
All right.
So or B.
And yep, yours is B.
Okay.
So I scored number 2, and I brought the dirty sweat socks. Now I think I know what's going on here. First of all, this is the only Mexican rum I've seen. Now, as I look at this, so when we talked about what is rum, I said it is sugarcane or molasses. There is another spirit, which we probably won't ever really get to on here because it's not really populous enough here in the States to get, but that is Kashasa. Kashasa is a spirit which is actually older than rum. It's a spirit made in Brazil, and it is made from sugarcane juice. So not the sugarcane itself, the sugarcane juice, the squeezings from sugarcane. And so they use that to make a drink, a spirit, which is called Kashasa, which is very similar to rum in a lot of ways. But if you make it in Brazil, then it's Kashasa. Now, there is an island in the Caribbean called Martinique where they make something called rum agricole. Rum agricole is just Kashasa that's not made in Brazil. And as I'm seeing this now, I'm seeing this is made from 100% sugarcane juice. So this is essentially a Kashasa. Now, as to whether or not something is a Kashasa or a rum, essentially hinges on whether or not it's made in Brazil. Anything that would be considered a Kashasa not made in Brazil is a rum, because they're essentially the same thing, but there is a difference in flavor. So
Like
what we basically have, yeah, very much so. So what we essentially have here is a Kashasa that's not made in Brazil that is just sort of classified as a rum, for lack of a better term. And Kashasa is something that is it can be a little divisive. The most famous cocktail it is in is a the name escapes me at the moment. Kale, why don't you talk about your number 1 here, and when you're done with that, I'll have the name of the cocktail because my brain doesn't work anymore.
So I was C.
You were C.
Excellent. Well, mine is El Dorado 3-year. And this is a rum from Guyana, which is a Caribbean nation on the northeast coast of South America. And this
it's
has
on that hump east of Colombia.
Okay. And it has a list of characteristics on the back of the bottle about the rum itself, and it rattles off like 6 different flavors, which made me think, oh, maybe this is going to be too complex. But that, and a little admission here is that I honestly thought A was the one I picked, because usually I feel like I picked the sucky one. I don't know. But today I went Yay. But
Well, if I could say, so the Angostura Distillery in Guyana is one of the oldest distilleries in the Caribbean that's been continuously operated. I think it's actually the oldest continually operated distillery in the Caribbean. Guyana rum is different than rum basically everywhere else. They have this dunder pit fermentation that they use down there that gives their rum a very, very unique sort of tinge to it. Apparently Brandon does not like that tinge, which is fine. But it's really, really interesting. In fact, when I look at the rum distilleries, if I could only visit a few rum distilleries in the world, the Angostura Distillery in Guyana would be like top 3, maybe top 2. I mean, Foursquare is number 1, and then Angostura would probably be number 2 or number 3. So yeah, I love this stuff. And actually, I drink El Dorado 3-year on a pretty regular basis. I always keep a bottle around because it's fairly inexpensive, and it's got a very unique flavor palette.
The Havana one was also fairly inexpensive.
Well, we all
$18.
Yeah, I don't remember what the Mexican one was. I think it was $25 or $30, something like that. So none of these were particularly expensive. And so, Kale, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
You win our first tasting.
Yes. I win again.
Now, I am very interested, as I said before, we have ourselves a bonus pour. So I thought this would go kind of well, because this is, again, another rum, which is it's a white rum, but it's very distinctive. I suspect that Brandon will like this one, but I can't promise anything. And I'm very sure Kale will like this one. This is a little bit hot, so sip accordingly.
Get nothing off the nose. Again, not a huge surprise.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, that's got a lot of people would say like banana peels or bananas.
Speaking of which, I just heard that somebody tried to make vegan bacon out of banana peels.
I want to give everybody a chance, but that just sounds like the most horrible thing I can think of.
I don't want to live in a world
according to the person that tried it.
Bacon. Wow.
It's
that
hot.
Rose on you.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a very specific kind of rum.
I don't think of the rum as hot, but that definitely is.
Oh yeah, this is real hot. Should I do suspense or have you guys guess, or should I just show you what it is?
Well, there's no way I was going to guess.
Right. Do you have a guess as far as the country of origin?
Nope. Brazil.
Okay, this is when we're talking about rum.
I'm going to guess.
Did you literally get disconnected as soon as you said, I'm going to guess?
I'm going to guess Brazil. Because that would be Kashasa, I guess. But
it's only Kashasa if it's from Brazil and distilled from sugarcane juice and not sugarcane. Okay, what is your guess?
I was going to say Jamaica.
You are correct, sir. And that flavor is what they usually describe as rum funk. This is Ray and Nephew Overproof. This is a great one to toss in cocktails. If you want a little bit of funkiness, you split your rums. Like, for example, let's say you're making a daiquiri. You could put half of a Havana Club, like Brandon has there, and the other half of your pour as a Ray and Nephew. That way you up your proof a little bit, plus you add a little bit of funkiness, but it doesn't get too funky because we can only get so funky. I like this one quite a bit.
So
I tend to pick up a little banana on this one.
Yeah. Like I said, Jamaican rums, that's sort of the dominant flavor that people talk about is banana.
Butterscotch.
I think so. I mean, there's no wrong answers on flavors. You taste what you taste, you smell what you smell.
I think if you put like butter onto a piece of warm banana bread, you'd get close. And
now I'm hungry.
And a pepper, but.
And now I'm hungry.
Brendan is a robot. Well,
Yeah,
I still got
you're always
food
going to
for
get that
tonight.
funk flavor on Jamaican rums. I've had Kale just in our off time when we're not doing this. Had him try Smith and Cross, which is one that he liked a lot. It's another one that's very, very, very funky. And if that is something you're interested in, and it's one of those things that people that are listening to this are going to have a hard time with, that I did when I first started hearing about Jamaican rums. I would hear people say, "Oh, it's a funky rum," and I never knew what they meant. It's sort of a weird, like, what does funk taste like?
Yeah.
But I swear to you, the first time you have Jamaican rum, you're like, "Oh, that's what funk tastes like," and it's a perfect description of it. It tastes dirty, but in a good way. I think is the best way to describe it.
Is proof a thing that is labeled on rums?
Yep. This is a big guy.
You're blurring out.
I'm trying not to.
63.
I was going to tell you, I was actually looking.
That's 63%, not 63 proof.
Gotcha.
So that's 126 proof.
Gonna be a good night tonight, kidneys.
No, I like it a lot. I think Jamaican rum has a lot of character to it. If Jamaican rum is something you're interested in, Appleton Estate is a good place to start, because it has that funky characteristic, but it's significantly less pronounced than in your Ray and Nephews or Smith and Crosses. If funk is something you really like, then Dr. Bird is my go-to. I think Dr. Bird is great, a great super funky Jamaican rum.
All right.
All right, so we have picked our pick. El Dorado from Guyana is our number one. Havana Club, or no, excuse me, Para Nubes. I don't even know if I said the name. I apologize. Para Nubes from Mexico is criminally ranked as number two. And Brandon's Havana Club is ranked as number three. For those just looking at the rankings, Havana Club is a great cocktail rum. Don't look at this as us saying that it's a bad rum. It's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad. I mean, you could use it almost in the same way you would do like a gin or a vodka, because to me it didn't have that much taste. You could definitely make a lot of.
It would be an excellent cocktail rum because it's inoffensive. The reason I put it last is
it's not going to overpower anything.
It lacked the characteristics that the other two did.
Well, the thing that is good about a rum like Havana Club or other rums kind of like that is if you want to grab something like, again, say a Ray and Nephew overproof. If you like that funkiness, but it's a little bit too much, like I said, you can go halfsies. So let's say you have a daiquiri, we're going to put 2 ounces of rum, put 1 ounce of Havana Club and 1 ounce of Ray and Nephew. That way you're not overpowering the drink with that funkiness. All right. Well, Kale, once again, congratulations on your tremendous victory here today. And Brandon will cry in his room in defeat, feeling horrible and not know what to do until our next blind tasting next month.
I'm going to drown my sorrows in Kashasa.
Brandon, do you have anything else you want to say before we end for the evening?
Nope. All good.
All right, Kale, you want to say goodbye to the people?
Peace out, yo. Stay thirsty.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Intoxicated Masculinity.